All right. Uta Hagen started at the Herbert Berghoff Studios. Yes, you can see Uta Hagen. And Uta Hagen is, if you just remind yourself of Uta Hagen before you audition for anything, you pick up the sides of the script, the short scene, and you say, who am I? Where am I? What do I want? What am I going to do if I don't get what I want? You know, so it's really simple. If you answer those questions, you're going to be way ahead of the game because you're not going to be relying on attitude or personality to convey the character. So that's what we get from Uta Hagen. And Tony Barr wrote Acting for the Camera, which is he's about learning the role, not the lines. And here's the thing, if you really understand the character, the lines will come to you, you'll remember the lines. Right? He doesn't mean don't know the lines. He means understand the character so well that the lines naturally will come to you. So you'll look at it's easier to memorize if you're connected. If you know what the intention is, if you know what you want in that moment, in those beats and mini objectives, it's so much easier than for the lines, the dialogue and the script to stay in your head and to be integrated in terms of you're going to be more dropped in. And of course, adapting to the camera. And then we have anyone else? Oh yeah, Robert Cohen. He started training. He's taught at Yale, and then I worked with him at UCI. And his philosophy is GOTE, which is goal, what do I really want? Other, from whom do I want it? Tactics, how do I get what I want? Expectations, what do I expect? Why do I expect to get it? Which is very much also like Stella Adler's justification. So am I making sense? It's a lot of layers that you have to think about when you create a character. You have to identify with the character. You have to create a biography and an emotional life of the character. You also are going to have to adapt and respond to direction, to blocking, to the other actor you're working with. Oh, here's another fact. Actors don't want to run lines in film and TV. They don't want to run lines. They will run lines in soaps, but because it's 20 pages a day. And even then it's hard to do because everyone's exhausted. But in film and TV, I've only worked with one actor who would run lines with me. And I've done a lot of projects. So they want it to seem like it's for the first time, that first take. They want the reality of doing to happen in the moment as if it's never happened before. So you really have to self-direct and be able to adapt because actors don't want to rehearse with you. Yeah, they want it to be fresh. So I worked with one actor who used to he would change his thing every take. He would change it up, do something different. When you really are, the expectation of the director is that you have emotional and physical continuity. You do the same thing take after take. Now, how you execute it is going to change based on the framing of the shot. So if I'm way far back, you know, my emotional life is going to be a little different. My expression is going to be different. If I'm like at a 2-shot, a more medium shot, then that's going to be slightly different. And then we get into that close-up where your eyes are the windows to your soul. Then that's going to be another added layer in which you have to sort of adjust. For those who overdo, this is the best. You're going to be more focused. You'll have more laser-like focus from doing what you do in this class. And when you apply it to when you do theater, it'll be amazing to you. I mean, theater will all of a sudden be so much simpler, less complex. The thing that a lot of theater actors do is they try to underdo because of the focal length of performance. They try to do so little, then there's nothing happening. And the only way you can get out of that rut is by practicing. The more you practice, the more you see yourself doing the scene or doing the work, you will see, okay, all right, I do, there's the energy is still there. The connection is still there. I'm not like all over the place. I'm making sense. I think I'm making sense. So the more that you do it, you'll feel more freedom. At first, it's very restrictive. You feel like your head's in a box. because you don't want to overdo. And so it seems like you're a clone talking. At least that was my experience. And I've heard other students who said that they feel really, confined by the focal length. But eventually it makes everything is so much more real and so much more natural, and it's just really easy. You get everything you need from your scene partner and from the background that you've created for your character. So it makes from my experience, I played a lot of different types of characters. It's great to be in that zone, and you get the work done, and you feel like really satiated, like it was really, really, you feel good. And you may not remember exactly everything that happened because you were kind of dropped in and you were just going through the experience of that character, but it's incredibly rewarding, and also, when you see yourself, don't look at yourself for all the flaws. We tend to be hypercritical of ourselves. The one thing that I do well as a teacher is I'm very good at ascertaining what your gifts are, your special skills outside of what you told me. So I'm very good at discerning what is going to be marketable for you and what strengths that you have that an agent will say that's fantastic. And I give constructive direction, but I think I prefer to focus on what you're doing well and work on enhancing that, and then try to minimize the things that you could improve upon. Does that make sense? I'm not like, oh, I saw this documentary a couple days ago, and it was about this rhythmic gymnast in Russia. And the reason why I mention this is because there are teachers out there, there are instructors out there in the world who want you to sign up for their class and, take it for 6 weeks and pay $1,000 or whatever. And they are very abusive. They try to deconstruct you. And when I watched this documentary about this gymnast was going to the Olympics, right? And she had one coach, it was like good cop, bad cop. She had one coach who was saying, I'm here for you, I support you. And then the other coach, she was horrible. She said, what you do is shit. You are a piece of shit. Like that. And literally she's saying this to this gymnast the day before the Olympics, right? The day before she's going to go to the mat. And she said, get back here, you shit. I mean, she was just the nastiest person. And then of course the next day, this gymnast wins the gold. And then she basically said, screw you to that trainer. So there are people who think that if you deconstruct and are somewhat, borderline abusive, that will force the talent or the artist to work harder. I don't believe that. You can work hard on your own. You don't need someone to denigrate you or to tear you down. But there are teachers out there say, oh, you're not ready. You're not ready for an agent. No, you're not ready to go out there yet. And for them, it's a money machine. And anyway, so I just thought I would warn you about those things. And also that my philosophy is about trust. You're not going to make bold choices and push the boundaries of your work if you're not in an environment of trust. I do not believe that people should be subjugated to a kind of training that is, oh, the more I'm criticized, the better I'll do. I just don't agree with that. So, am I making sense? All right, casting process. Ta-da! So you're going to help me out with this. Let me get that. Okay, we are casting a series. And which actor here looks like he could be the principal of the school?
On the left, because he has a collar on his shirt.
Okay. And who looks like he or she could be the head of the athletic department?
The blonde one?
Hmm?
The blonde one?
The what?
I guess she's kind of cut off, but...
Yeah. Okay. Who's the cheerleader?
The guy in the upper right, because he stands out.
Okay. And who is head of the debate team?
Can the principal be the head of the debate team too?
Oh, I don't know, I guess.
Just a question. Probably the bottom right.
Okay. And did we decide what, hold on, I can't, yeah. Was she the cheerleader or not? You said he was the cheerleader.
They said I did, and I was serious.
All right, she could be class president though, right? The blonde. Could she be class president?
Oh, there's more people. I didn't even see all the
I
people.
didn't see those people.
Yeah, I didn't see the people on the very bottom. I didn't know there were 6. We only saw the top 4.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
All right, who is the biology professor?
I think the guy on the bottom left right there.
Okay. And who is the drama teacher?
Girl on the
I would say
bottom.
yes.
Behind the photos.
Which one?
The
There.
girl.
One holding
Yeah.
up.
The girl.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna pull up another one. Okay, this is a series set in a small town. So you see all the faces. Who is the mayor of the town?
I'm gonna say top left.
Okay,
I have to
he's
agree
the
with
mayor of the town. All right. Who is the richest man in town?
The bottom left.
Okay.
He owns a software company. Okay, it makes sense.
All right. Who runs a stripper joint?
Top right.
top
Yeah, I
right.
was gonna say top right too. She looks mean.
Very stern.
Looks in control.
Which actor is a Magic Mike stripper?
Middle right.
In the middle right. It's the
Sorry,
curl of
guys,
his hair.
it's slightly
It's the curl of
above
his
now.
hair.
Yeah. All right. Who is the representative who's looking for toxic waste in the dump at the town?
Middle left.
Yeah, I can see that.
And who's the local cop?
Bottom right.
Bottom right.
Moving on.
This is a weird.
Okay, this show is set on an island. And the plane has crashed. Oh, I guess it could be like Lost.
Yeah, I was really Lost.
All
We're
right,
recasting Lost too.
recasting Lost.
Lost too.
So, what does she look like in the blue shirt? What kind
She
of character
looks-
could she
She,
be?
she
I
looks
feel like
like
she could be a
maybe-
nurse.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like
She
a
could go
Okay.
all the way.
And what about the gentleman next to her?
An like a veteran, ex-military.
Ex-military, okay. And what about row 2?
Girl on the right could be like a school teacher, like a 2nd grade teacher.
She could be a 2nd grade teacher or a flight attendant.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
And the guy next to her,
An undercover air marshal.
okay. And what about the top 2?
The top right's a student.
Yeah, I thought the
For
same
sure.
thing. Yeah.
And the gentleman next to her?
He's like a stockbroker. He's like one of those like money guys.